Dear Dr. Muhammad Zaini Alif SSN MDS, the chairman of the committee. Dear Dr. Zaini SSN MSE, Director of Postgraduate Program ISPI Bandung. Dear Dr. Retno Dwi Marwati SNM Hum, Director of ISPI Bandung. Dear Dr. Beni Bahtiar MSE, the Head of Culture and Tourism Service, West Java, Indonesia. Dear Prof. Arthur Supadanalan, MSN M. Hum, from ISPI Bandung. Dear Prof. Madya Dr. Nur Hisham Ibrahim, from University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia, replaced by Prof. Muhammad. Dear Prof. Dr. Nguyen Nghiapong, from Vietnam Art University, Vietnam. Dear Prof. Tao Yimei, from Guangxi Art University, China. Dear Prof. Zhou Zhu, from Guangxi Art University, China. Dear Prof. Dr. Madya Akhtaruzaman from University of Dhaka, Bangladesh, replaced by Prof. Muhammad Firdaus Kansawan. And all international seminar participants that we are proud of. Welcome to the International Conference of Art and Culture, Incarture 2023. Let me read the sequence of activities that will be carried out at today's agenda. 1. Registration. 2. Singing Indonesia Raya songs and prayer recitation. 3. Report by the chairman of the committee, Mr. Dr. Muhammad Zaini Alif, SSN MDS. 4. Speech delivered by ISPI Bandung Postgraduate Director, Mr. Dr. Zaini SSN MSE. 5. Speech delivered by the Department Head and Tourism and Culture, Mr. Dr. Beni Bahtiar. 6. Remarks from the Rector of ISPI Bandung, Mrs. Dr. Retno Dwi Marwati SNM Hum. 7. Performance of West Java Department and Tourism and Culture Presentation Dance. 8. Keynote talks and discussion by Mrs. Prof. Chuso, Mr. Prof. Tao Yimei, and Mr. Prof. Dr. Arthur Supadanalan SNM Hum. 9. Break session. 10. Keynote talk and discussion by Associate Mr. Prof. Dr. Nur Hisham Ibrahim, Mr. Prof. Dr. Nguyen Nghiapong, and Mr. Prof. Dr. Akhtaruzaman. 11. Performance of West Java Department and Tourism and Culture Presentation Dance. 12. Poetry performance by Adira and Rizal from Postgraduate ISPI Bandung. The first agenda was Singing Indonesia Raya. Welcome to Miss Nita. All the participants, stand up please. Lihat semuanya di All participants can sit down again. Next agenda is recitation prayer. Welcome to Mr. Sodik.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sebelum mulai acara ini, marilah kita tundukkan kepala, hati, dan jiwa kita kepada Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala untuk mohon keriduannya agar kegiatan International Conference on Art and Culture Incarture 2023 hari ini diberkahi dan bisa berjalan lancar. Marilah kita berdoa menurut agama dan kepercayaan kita masing-masing. Bagi yang beragama Islam, doakan saya pimpin. Bagi yang non-Muslim, silakan menyesuaikan. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Hamdan syakirin. Dengan segala kebesaran dan keagungan-Mu, ya Allah, dan tak henti-hentinya kami mengucapkan puji serta syukur kehadirat-Mu, serta dengan menengadahkan tangan untuk memohon kehadirat-Mu. Pada saat ini kami hadir dalam melaksanakan International Conference di Hotel Berianger. Tiada harapan dan dambaan kami, melainkan mengharap barokah dan ridho-Mu selalu menyertai kami. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, di awal pertemuan ini berikanlah kelancaran kegiatan kami sampai nanti di penghujung kegiatan ini. Dengan mengharap kemanfaatan, ridho, dan barokah dalam melaksanakan guna meningkatkan pengetahuan, keterampilan, serta kepribadian kami. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, Tuhan yang Maha Pengasih lagi Maha Penyayang, ampunilah segala dosa dan kesalahan kami, kabulkanlah doa dan permohonan kami, terimalah taubat kami, dengarkanlah harapan dan permohonan kami. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The next agenda is speech report by the chairman of the committee. To Mr. Dr. Muhammad Zaini Alif, SSN MDS, we welcome you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, Rahayu, Sampurasun, Sampuraning Ingsun, may we be perfect today. Dear Dr. Zaini, SSN MSE, Director of Postgraduate Program SB Bandung, dear Dr. Retno, Dewi Warwati, Asian M.Hum, Director of SB Bandung, the Honorable by Dr. Beni Bahtiar, the Head of Tourism and Culture Service of West Java, who has supported and facilitated this activity in Khartoum. Thanks. Dear Professor Chu Juo and Professor Tao Yime from Guangxi Art University, China, participate in activity in Khartoum. Thanks for coming along with all the team from Guangxi Art University. I respect Professor Dr. Arthur Supardanalan for this willingness to attend and contribute his talk to this activity in Incarture. Dear Professor Dr. Nur Hisab Ibrahim from University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia, welcome to join Prof. He is holding a campus leadership meeting. Later, he will be backed up by Prof. Muhammad. Thank for your participation in this activity. Dear Professor Dr. Nguyen Hiang Quong from Vietnam Art University, Vietnam, welcome to join Prof. Thank you for your participation in this activity. Dear Professor Muhammad Firdaus Khan Sawon from Dhaka University, Bangladesh, he replaced from Akhtaruzaman, who could not attend this seminar. Welcome to join the Prof. Thanks you for your participation in this activity. And also thank you to the organizing committee of the International Conference on Art and Culture. With hard work and high dedication, have been able to organize this activity, which I am proud of the participation who are present today, apart from fellow lecturer of ISB Bandung, undergraduate student of ISB Bandung, representative from abroad, as well as lecturer from great campus in Indonesia who are present today. Thank you for your participation. And don't forget to thank Go Academica for their cooperation. Hopefully, this activity will be launched to get result and expected. Ladies and gentlemen, whom I respect, welcome to 2023 International Conference on Art and Culture in Incarture, entitled Transforming New Creative Values in Art and Culture. I reported the first seminar of the International Conference on Art and Culture or Incarture is a program from ISB postgraduate in collaboration with 5 universities from 5 countries, namely China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Malaysia, and Indonesia. Dear Professor Chuju and Professor Tao Yime from Guangxi Art University, China, Professor Dr. Hisam Ibrahim from University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia, Professor Dr. Nguyen Hiang Kuo from Vietnam Art University, Vietnam, Professor Muhammad Firdaus Khan Sawon from Dhaka University, Bangladesh, and Professor Dr. Arthur Supardanalan from ISB Bandung. The first Scopus Index seminar organized by ISB Bandung Campus. Participant of International Conference on Art and Culture or Incarture seminar today, we are attend from 8 countries: Slovakia, Azerbaijan, Timor-Leste, Bangladesh, Ukraine, Papua New Guinea, and Australia. The preceding article entered to that have approached 50 articles with various theme enter from various university and institutions to enter the international process indexed by Scopus. The presentation will be held in today. The second day which will be held at ISB Bandung with the implementation of 5 presentations on and online for those who do not attend in person with the distribution of space. Thus, I report as the Chief Executive of the International Conference on Art and Culture or Incarture seminar. Hopefully, the International Conference on Art and Culture or Incarture seminar will be provide many benefits for everyone and have a good impact on ISB Bandung. Thank you all and happy following to the end in this today. Thank you for attention of ladies and gentlemen. Please apologies if a mistake from me, I resign. Waalaikumsalam, salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, Rahayu, Sampurasun.
Thanks to Mr. Dr. Muhammad Zaini Alif, SSN MTS, for his report. The next agenda is speech from the Director of the ISB Bandung Postgraduate Program to Mr. Dr. Zaini, SSN MSE. We welcome you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Bismillah. Thanks God. All praise are open to the divine vision of Rabbi Allah Almighty. For the blessing given, healthy and right proper, and other blessings that are burdened and cannot be written with anything, even with Twitter English issue. I send prayer and greeting in every breath for the Lord of Rasulullah, Nabi Bana Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has given the light of intelligence, quiet and guided us as a people from the era of Jahiliyah to the era of full progress as it is today, with spirit and good willing until the end time. The Honorable Rector of Bandung, Mbak Aratno, thank you. And staff for the support and attention. Thank God we can hold this event. The Honorable Dr. Benny, not yet welcome. Thank you. The head of Tourism and Culture Service of West Java, who has supported and facilitated this activity. Thank you, Dr. Benny. Dear Professor Yujo and Professor Tojime from Guangxi University, China, who participate in this activity. Thank you for coming with the group. I respect Professor Dr. Arthur S. Nalan for this willingness to attend and contribute his thought to this activity. Thank you, Prof. Arthur. Dear Professor Dr. Nur Hisham Ibrahim from University Technology Mara, Malaysia, welcome to join, Prof. Thank you for your participation in this activity. Dear Professor Dr. Nguyen Nghia Phuong from Vietnam at University, Vietnam, welcome to join, Prof. And then, and also thank you to be organizing committee of the International Conference on Art and Culture with hard work and high dedication have been able to organize this activity, which I am proud of the participants who are present today. Apart from below lecture of ISP Bandung, thank you. ISP Bandung undergraduate student, thank you. And representative from both to Australia, Azerbaijan, Timor-Leste, Ukraine, and Czechia, and Bangladesh. Thank you. As well as a lecturer from Grid Campus in Indonesia who are present today. Thank you for your participation. And don't forget to thank Go Academica for their cooperation. Hopefully, this activity will be launched to get results as expected. Ladies and gentlemen, in this beautiful day, I feel proud and very honored to be informed of the world audience of holding this activity. The International Conference on Art and Culture as the first time at ISB Bandung, and the result of this seminar is proceeding that will be published in collaboration with the International Index. namely Scopus. Through these activities on behalf of the postgraduate program ISB Bandung, I want to jointly build up academic sensitivity to various artistic and cultural issues, both in Indonesia and in other countries. This activity may help you and all Incarture participation, academic people, to be able to get international recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, may I service this opening remark to get you. I love you. Thank you so much. Welcome to this activity. May health always accompany all of us. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Mr. Dr. Jaini SSN MSE for his remarks. The next speech will be delivered by the Rector of ISB Bandung, Mrs. Dr. Retno Dimarwati SNM Hum. To Mrs. Dr. Retno Dimarwati SNM Hum, we welcome you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Honorable ladies and gentlemen, speaker, conference participant, and my proud of our student, to Dharma Siswa in ISB Bandung. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
We express our thanks of the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given us health and the opportunity to attend the international conference held by the postgraduate program of ISB Bandung. The International Conference on Art and Culture in Incarture is an effort to publish the result of those research and community service from the academic community at ISB Bandung and other universities. Both researchers, lecturers, students, and educational staff welcome to the conference in Bandung for speaker, Professor Arthur from ISB Bandung, Professor Madya Dr. Nur Hisam Ibrahim from UITM Malaysia, Professor Dr. Nguyen Nhiapong, Vietnam Arts University, Professor Tao Yime, and Professor Chu Zhuo from Xiangxi Arts University, and Professor Dr. Akhtaruzaman University of Dhaka, Bangladesh. And our keynote speaker, Dr. Benny Bahtiar, the head of Culture of Tourism Service in West Java. ISB Bandung proud that our collaboration is a lively collaboration and is well implemented in Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi of higher education in the field of education, research, and community service. Form of exhibition, exchange of performance, exchange of lecture, exchange of students have been established with UITM Malaysia, Guangxi Art University, and I hopefully in the future it will increase be more closely intertwined with Vietnam Art University and the University of Dhaka, Bangladesh. And for Dr. Benny, we hope that the regional government will always support cultural activity for ISB Bandung. There are many things that can be done synergically with various parties, with stakeholders in ISB Bandung. Welcome to Australia University. We hope our meeting in the Incarture International Conference in 2023 can increase the smoothness and educational development and strengthen cultural advancement. So thank you for the participant of all attendees in this conference. May we all gain various knowledge and share with each other for the benefit of civilization. Thank you and apologies if there are words that are not acceptable. Billahi fi sabilil haq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Director of ISB Bandung, Ibu or Mrs. Dr. Dr. Retno Dimarwati, and then because Mr. Benny cannot attend for this seminar because he must go to Medan, so we continue for the next agenda. The next agenda is performance of West Java Department of Tourism and Cultural Presentation Dance. Please welcome. Thank you. That's about the dance, which is done with its choreographer by Ilham Haruna, the students of postgraduate ISB Bandung. And then the dancer are Lisa, Yola, Olis, Nina, and Rida, the students of postgraduate. The dancer musics by the postgraduate students of Pasca Sarjana of postgraduate of ISB Bandung. Then we continue about the next agenda is it about poetry performance by Adira and Rizal under title Spining in Serenity. Welcome, please.
adalah wajah bulan yang purnama dan coreng moreng serta padakan dan topeng-topeng. Wajah kita adalah wajah manusia yang bukan lagi manusia, yang terbenam dalam wayang. Wajah kita adalah wajah kepala yang tersolek menghias lembaran kitab suci dan kitab undang-undang. Wajah kita adalah wajah politisi yang menebalkan tangan bersikutan, menebalkan muka meraih kedudukan. Yang menang di bumi bidadari, merayu kita menyatu. Bila kita selalu berkaca dengan kaca yang terang dan tak sempurna, kaca tergambar, wajah kita yang pandang bagi binatang dapat berkesan. Wajah kita adalah wajah serigala yang mengaum menangkap mangsa dengan puas lahap dan gairah. Wajah kita adalah wajah yang mengejar bangkai dan kotor dengan sampah dan selokan-selokan. Wajah kita adalah wajah kuda. Bila kita selalu berkaca hilap dan rapat, maka tergambar alangkah bersaadanya wajah kita. Wajah kita yang mendengar segala arah, kerendahan hati dan lapangan dada. Wajah kita adalah wajah yang kurang tambah. Wajah kita adalah wajah yang sujud rebah, hanya padanya juga. Wajah kita adalah wajah yang bukan wajah, hanya patah megah. Thank you.
Well, let's move to the next agenda, which is a keynote talk and discussion by Mrs. Prof. Ju Zhou and Mr. Prof. Tao Yimei and also Mr. Prof. Dr. Artun Subadanalan SNM Hum. But before that, we will read their CV words, which will be read by our moderator today. To Mr. Nur Rahmat SSM Hum, we are welcome.
Thank you, Ibu Arini, for the opportunity for me to deliberate this event, actually the conference. Morning all. Good morning all.
Morning.
Good. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for participating in this program. And I'd like to thank the organizer of the event for their hard working and inviting me to moderate this international conference. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason we are here today is to gather opinion and also take action on issues related to art and culture on this international conference on art and culture Incarture 2023, entitled Transforming New Creative Values in Art and Culture. Well, without further ado, let me first introduce myself. My name is Nur Rahmat. I am from ISB Bandung, and I'd like to present you to welcome all the excellent speakers today. First, I'd like to invite Mr. Tao Yimei. Please come here. And also Ms. Professor Xu Zhou to come here, please, on the stage. And also the Honorable Professor Dr. Arthur Subadanalan from SB Bandung. Please have a seat here on the stage. Mr. Dandi, I think we need one more seat for the translator. Yeah, first, let me introduce Professor Tao Yimei. He is Academy of Art Vice Dean, Professor of Chinese Writing and Chinese Painting. And then also Professor Xu Zhou, Guangxi Ethnic Music Museum Director, Professor of Ethnomusicology and Chinese Traditional Music. They are both from Guangxi Art University, China. And Professor Dr. Arthur Supardarnalan S.N.M. Hum, Professor of Art Sociology in Postgraduate ISB Bandung. I've just got information that Mr. Tao Yimei and Ms. Sozu will present in their language, Chinese, but will be guided with their translators. Yeah. Yeah, as we know that the Industrial Revolution 4.0 has forced people to change their behavior, perspective, and mindset to fit the times. This cultural transformation is important because when a nation is not ready to face the Industrial Revolution 4.0, then the nation is experiencing cultural shocks that have the potential to damage old cultural values and leave new cultural values in an incompletely formed condition. This can cause people to lose their direction and grip, so they are easily trapped in conflict and easily dictated by other nations. Ladies and gentlemen, this title, Transforming New Creative Values in Art and Culture, makes one big question: how to transform new creative values in art and culture. And this will be answered by our excellent speakers today here in front of us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for the first speaker, Mr. Tao Yimei, to discuss this article. I've just informed that our discussion will be about 2 hours. So each speaker will have about 30 minutes to discuss their article. So each speaker 30 minutes for discussion, and then another 30 minutes for question and answer. Okay. So please, Mr. Tao Yimei. Yeah, I believe all of you may understand Chinese. Yeah. Yeah, especially postgraduate student. Yeah. So, yeah.
本届的研究法地校长、各位领导专家，上午好。
Good morning, everyone.
首先感谢万隆国立文化艺术学院的邀请，我们在印尼度过了美好难忘的5天。
First of all, I would like to thank ISPI for inviting us. We have spent 5 wonderful and unforgettable days in Indonesia.
昨天晚上我们联合的音乐会，让我们领略了印尼与中国优秀的传统音乐文化。
Our concert last night allowed us to appreciate the excellent traditional music culture of Indonesia and China.
特别是万隆国立文化艺术学院教授们的出张族的甘美来，五果丰硕，值得我们学习。
In particular, the Suda Gamelan of ISBI was fruitful and worthy of our study.
今天的论坛更是我们对各国传统文化艺术交流的盛会。
Today's conference is more of an event for traditional culture and artistic exchange between the countries.
为万隆国立文化艺术学院的领导老师们表示衷心的感谢。
I would like to express my heartfelt thanks.
谢谢。
I'm glad that I have this opportunity to introduce to you some musical instruments of China and translation and exhibition in the museum.
我今天讲的内容是中国传统艺术中的中国画。
Our professor, today we are introduced the traditional Chinese painting and in his vision.
中国画是中国以佛教命名的一种绘画艺术。
The term Chinese painting originated in the Han dynasty and is China.
Nggak bisa dua, Bu. Jadi harus satu colokan. Jadi nggak bisa ke sini, nggak bisa ke sana.
汉朝人认为中国是出天地之中者，所以称为中国。
The people of
Tadi
the
tuh mau
Han
diminta materinya cuma nggak mau.
believed that
Dari
China
sini.
was the one
Harusnya dari sini
in the heavens
untuk
and
menampilkan.
earth, so it was called China.
中国将中国的绘画称为中国画，简称国画。
And the paintings of China were called Chinese painting.
主要指的是画在宣纸佛上面加上装裱的卷轴画。国画是汉族的传统绘画形式，是用毛笔沾水墨彩作画于绢或纸上。
Chinese painting is a traditional form of painting of the Han nationality, which is painting on the ear or rice paper with a brush dipped in the water, ink, and color.
工具和材料有毛笔、墨、国画颜料、宣纸、绢等。题材可以分为人物、山水、花鸟等，技法可分为具象和写意。
Tools and the materials used in Chinese paintings include brushes, ink, Chinese painting, rice paper, silk, and the subject matter can be depicted into figures, landscapes, flowers, and birds.
中国画在内容和艺术创作上体现了古人对自然、社会及相关的政治、哲学、宗教、道德、文艺等方面的认识。
Furthermore, the techniques can be depicted into figurative and freehand. In terms of content and artistic creation, Chinese painting embodies the ancient understanding of nature, society, collective, and the religion, morality, literature, and rap.
Iya.
Chinese paintings originated in ancient times in the form of pictographs, which laid the foundation. Chinese paintings originated in ancient times in the form of pictographs, which laid the foundation in early Chinese art form. There no fundamental difference between painting and text. Therefore, there is a saying that calligraphy and the
Iya, tapi rasa kurang ini teh 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Orangnya lumayan nih. 10 orang.
Ada ini nggak? Ya, speed.
Itu yang di-share laptop ini katanya nggak
Itu Pak. Iya, itu lagi di setting.
Kalau ini ke sana nggak?
Bisa.
Bisa.
Kalau ke sana.
Ya.
Mau di copy aja materinya.
Mau di copy materinya. Coba.
Jadi
Bisa dipakai.
This one. Okay.
Nanti operatornya di sini aja.
Di sini ya.
So just say next and next. For you for the next. Operatornya tetap di sini next. Ya.
oh, jadi takutnya beda tempat, beda gambar gitu.
Terus jadi gimana dia di sini aja atau gimana? Ini bisa diingat nggak bisa kan?
Nggak bisa, ini operator
Ini kan
semua.
operator di sini. Jadi nggak mungkin telat ini.
We also have another big PowerPoint. Later.
No,
Will you set here? Maybe will you set here? So you can see the yeah. Sorry, but we have another after this.
After this.
After this.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, we do apologize. There is a technical problem with the converter. So while waiting for the technician.
Dibagi aja si yang banyak nih. Ya. Oke. Tadi kan
没有鼠标吗？没有鼠
没有鼠标。
汉和魏晋南北朝时的另外的文化输入、本土文化和产生创新等等，使这个时期的绘画宗教绘画。
During the Han Dynasty and the Wei, Jin, Southern and the Northern dynasties, the collision and the interaction between the foreign culture and the local culture led to the formation of a situation in which religious paintings were the mainstay.
描绘本土历史人物、取材文学作品展现的力，山水画、花鸟画在这个时候显示，隋唐时期社会经济、文化高度繁荣，绘画也随之呈现出全面繁荣的局面。
The depreciation of the local historical figures and the drawing on literature works also accounted for a certain proportion. Furthermore, landscape paintings, flower and bird paintings also spread out the times. During the Sui and the Tang dynasty, the social, economic, and cultural perplexity was high, and painting also showed a situation of convergence prosperity.
山水画、花鸟画被发展成宗教画达到了顶峰，并出现了自主化的像国际化表现。贵族生活为主，并出现了具有时代特征的景照。
Landscape, flower, and bird paintings have matured. Religious paintings have reached its peak, and there is a trend towards securities. Portraits mainly depict the life of the artisticles, and the characters molding with the characters of the times has appeared.
在两宋又进一步能走更加繁荣，人物画已经转入描绘世俗生活、宗教画逐渐的衰退，山水画、花鸟画越趋发展起来。
The five dynasties and the two Song dynasties further matured and became more prosperous. Bigger paintings have turned to despite secular life. Religion paintings have gradually declined, and the landscape, flower, and bird paintings have leaped into the mainstream of the painting world.
文人画的出现，以及在后续的发展，极大的丰富了中国画的创作方面和表现方法。
The emergence of portraits and its development in later generations greatly entered the creative concept and expression most of Chinese painting.
元明清三代水墨山水和写意画人画得到了突出发展，文人画和风俗画成为中国画的主流。随着经济社会的发展，文化艺术领域空前繁荣，涌现出很多热爱和崇尚艺术的伟大画家。历代画家创作出名垂千古的绘画。
With the gradual stability of the social economy, the unprecedented prosperity of the field of culture and art, many great painters who love life and advocate art have emerged, and these painters have created famous paintings that are famous till date.
中国画主要分为人物、花鸟、山水这几大类。表面上，中国画是以题材为这几类，其实是用艺术表现的一种观念和思想。
Chinese paintings are mainly divided into several categories: portraits, flowers and birds, and landscapes. On the surface, Chinese paintings are divided into these categories based on subject matter, but in fact, it is a concept and thought expressed through art.
所谓划分三科，概括了宇宙和人的三个方面。
So, the so-called paintings are divided into three subjects. That is, it summarizes the three aspects of the university and life.
人物画所表现的是人类社会人与人的关系，山水画所表现的是人与自然的关系，将人和自然融为一体。
Portraits show human society and the relationship between people. Landscape paintings express the relationship between man and nature, integrating man and nature into one.
花鸟画则是表现大自然的各种生命与人和谐相处。
Flower and bird paintings represent all kinds of life in nature and how they live in harmony with people.
中国画之所以分为人物、花鸟、山水这几大类，其实是由艺术升华的哲学思考，三者结合，构成了宇宙的整体相得益彰，是艺术作为艺术的真谛所在。
The reason why Chinese paintings are divided into the categories of figures, flower, birds, and landscapes, it's actually the philosophical reflection of the sublimation of art. The combination of the three constitutes the whole of the university, which complements each other, thus highlighting the true definition of art. It is a picture, a Chinese emotion named Zhonghui. And this picture is depicting the spring has arrived. So the Chinese name is Bao Chun Tu.
欣赏中国山水画，首先要了解国画制作者的珍贵意象。画家把名山大川的色彩已经在云里走，所以不以交情为交，而以心意为主。
To appreciate Chinese landscape paintings, we must first fully understand the mind of Chinese artists. The artist's understanding of the famous mountains and rivers characteristics are firstly stored in his heart, and then shapes and expresses them with his hand. In landscape paintings, the display of perspective and radius are often disproportionate. This, however, is not the essence of the landscape paintings.
艺术历史为一局一谈，也可以代表画家的艺术，不必计较后世比例的显示分的。
In fact, one should rather focus on the mood that the artist convenient on his paintings through trees, stones, and pavilions.
动物种类繁多，大小不一，狮、虎、猫、犬则称为种，动物分为鱼类则称为游鱼，蓝蝶、金鱼则称为草鱼，这种雀鸟则称为翎毛。动物可以归到花鸟画。
There are many kinds of animals, different size, like lions, tigers, cats, dogs, can all be distinguished as animals. Different kinds of fish are called aquatics. So animals can be classified as flowers and bird paintings. It's a line, a picture.
人物画可分为古今两类服装人物，或者是历代的因素为一类，现代服装或者模特写真为一类，人物动作表，所以人物画是比较深奥的制作。
Portraits can be divided into categories, the ancients or the scholars of the past dynasty, modern clothing or modern sketching as a category. Since the characters have to have moments and expressions, the portraits are a relative production. It's also Chinese painting.
根据制作的技巧、笔法、国画分为工笔协议而兼工代理。
According to the production techniques and brushwork, Chinese paintings can be categorized into fine brushwork, freehand brushwork, writing, and both fine brushwork and freehand brushwork.
工笔画像戏剧的笔法制作，工笔画可用现场的等是不同是工笔画的特征。
Fine brushwork are made with detailed brushwork and are characterized by enhancing on beautiful lines and details.
心灵感受以随意表述为意义，写意画不注重现场，重视意象，工笔画的精细味道生动，往往更显眼。
Freehand brushwork, feelings of the heart, the brush at view, regarded as freehand brushwork. So the vividness of the imaging is often better than the former.
根据画面的内容，分为传统绘画和现代绘画。
Depending on the content of the picture, it can also be categorized into traditional and modern paintings.
中国画画里千年计形成了一套笔法、构图法、方法等固定的模式，所以具有此种风格的国画称为传统绘画。
Traditional painting, the age of Chinese painting is counted the thousands of years, forming a set of brushwork, composition, shaping, and other fixed patterns. So with this style of Chinese painting is called traditional painting.
中国画的代表成为人物画，以人物形象为主体的绘画通称。
The general term for paintings in which the figure is the main subject.
人物画力求人物个性刻画的递增传神，意蕴生动，形成鲜味。
The figure painting strives to portray the character's personality realistically, vividly, and in both form and the spirit.
要画好人物画，除了基本传统以外，还必须了解和研究人体的基本形体能力、结构以及人体运动的变化规律。
So to paint a good figure painting, in addition to inheriting the traditional, and it is necessary to understand and study the basic shape, proportion, anatomy of the human body, as well as the pattern of change of the human body's movement, in order to accurately shape and express the figure's form and the spirit.
山水画的历史进程，了解山川自然景色和整体的绘画。
The historical process of landscape painting. Landscape painting is a painting that depicts the nature scenery of mountains and rivers as its main subject.
山水画的组成包括山水、石、树、房、屋、楼台 等等。
Composition of landscape painting, cloud, mountains, water, rocks, trees, house, platforms, boats, and act.
山水画的主要代表有青绿山水。
The main representatives of landscape painting is 青绿山水, 青绿 landscape.
点亮山水，山水画成一种在水中勾勒的基础上，赋予色彩为主，淡淡山水画。
浅江山水 is a kind of landscape painting on the basis of the ink and water hooks and the chafing, the light color landscape painting with ochres as the main color.
金碧山水，中国画颜料中的明金、石青和石绿。
It's also a kind of the Chinese painting. So in Chinese painting, the colors are clay gold, stone, blue green, and stone green.
水墨画，中国画的一种用水墨所做的画。
Ink painting, this is a type of Chinese painting. It refers to paintings made purely with ink and water.
基本要素有3种：单纯性、象征性、自然性、语法的传导，分发挥做法的传导。
There are 3 basic elements, simplicity and naturalness. The brushwork is dominated mass, giving foreplay to the function of the ink.
工笔画画在经过胶反加工过的圈或者宣纸上面。
Fine brushwork is also a kind of Chinese painting. So the fine brushwork painting must be painted on pressed silk or rice paper. In the earlier Tang Dynasty, the improvement of silk material played a certain role in promoting the development of fine brushwork painting.
文人画，一称中国画是中国画的一种代表中国社会中的文人士大夫所做的画。
Literary painting. This is a type of Chinese painting. It refers to the paintings made by the literati in Chinese society.
花鸟画的历史进程，在魏晋南北历朝之前，花鸟画作为中国艺术表象的对象。
The historical process of flower and bird painting, period to the Wei, Jin, and the North Song dynasty, flowers and birds as objects of expression in Chinese art had always appeared in the form of motifs and decorations on top of pottery and bronze.
中国画的造型特征，中国画在光正式形象塑造和表现手法上，体现了中华民族传统的哲学观念和审美观念。
Characteristics of molding in Chinese painting. Chinese painting embodies the traditional philosophical concepts and essence of the Chinese nation in its observation and understanding, image shaping, and expression mass.
中国画在创作上重视构思，讲求意在体现和形象思维，注重艺术形象的底色光和统一。
Chinese painting enhances conception in creation, requires consciousness before the brush, and focus on the subjective and objective until of the artistical image.
中国画与西画的区别，东西洋文化根本与艺术的表现不同。
differences between Chinese and Western paintings because Chinese and Western cultures are different. Artistic expression is also different.
中国画侧重线条，西洋画线条不显著。
Okay, Chinese painting love to use lines, but Western painting didn't like to use lines.
中国画注重意境，西洋画注重透视法。
Chinese painting focus on mood, Western painting focus on perspective.
中国画不讲解剖学，人物画很重视。
And Chinese painting doesn't teach anatomy.
中国画不重绘景，西洋画很重绘景。
Chinese painting don't emphasize the background.
东洋画题材以自然为主，西洋画以人物为主。
Chinese painting subjects are based on nature, while Western painting subjects are based on the human figure.
中国画构图讲究的形式美，构图不受时间、空间限制，也不受焦点透视的主辅，画面空白运用艺术特色。
Chinese paintings pay attention to the beauty of form. The composition is not limited by time and scape, nor is it bound by the focus of perspective, and the use of blank scape in the picture is unique.
由于时间关系啊，那今天我就介绍到这里，谢谢各位。
Because of the time is over, so thank you so much. Can you change the USB?
尊敬的一个马哇校长以及各位领导专家，上午好。
Good morning, everyone.
这两天的这个外国国立艺术文化学院一个精彩演出的这个论坛，给我印象非常深刻，有很多地方值得我们一起去学习。
Excellent concerts. These days give us many expressions.
今天很高兴受到邀请，参加这样一个盛会。今天我想介绍的是中国东盟总期的形态举办及博物馆展陈。
I'm glad that I have this opportunity to introduce to you some symbolic musical instruments of China and Southeast Asia and the exhibition in the museum.
我从两个方面来展开。
I will start from these two parts.
首先介绍一下广西。广西它有这个桂林山水甲天下的称号。
I will introduce Guangxi first. Guangxi is called
这是在中国地上的桂林山水的图片。
This is the theory of Guangxi.
我们最有代表性的沿海是北海湾区，有最著名的宁
I
康。
won't put it out, but I don't
This
know
is
how to.
Guangxi Beihai. We have a sea and beach.
It cannot.
我们有这个跨中越边境的这个得天瀑布。
This is the waterfall across China and Vietnam.
所以，中国广西的区位存在三个特点：沿海、沿边、沿江。
So this is the locational characteristics of Guangxi, China. That is along the sea, along the river, and along the border.
在广西区内最著名的地理位置，就是我们拥有海岸线1500米，沿海岛屿有697个。
The coastline in Guangxi is 1,500 kilometers long, with 697 coastal islands.
有洪水河、西江、九江等流域占全区有86%。
The main rivers are the Hongshui River and etc., with watersheds accounting for 86% of the land area of the entire autonomous region.
中国与越南的边境线有1080千里。
The Sino-Vietnamese border is 1,080 kilometers long.
广西有这个特色乐器艺术一件，是中国最多的一个少数民族地区。
There are many ethnic musical instruments in Guangxi with more than 100 kinds of featured musical instruments, which is an important musical instrument library in China.
有壮、汉、苗、瑶等12民族。
There are ethnic groups such as Zhang, Han, Yao, Miao, etc. in Guangxi.
这个图片是广西这个各特色乐器的分布情况。
This is the list of the main characteristic musical instruments of each nation in Guangxi and its distribution area.
介绍完广西的情况以后，我们首先来看中国陇柱与东南亚相关乐器之比较研究。
Next is a comparative study of Chinese long true and related musical instruments in South Asia.
这个是我们博物馆中间的柱，是一个船形的。
This is the long in Guangxi Ethnic Music Museum.
首先，平行研究的视域空间。何谓平行研究？即指主要由类比和对比两种方法构成，即辨别其中的类似性或者差异，以及异中之同，同中之异。重点是求类同。
Parallel research consists of two main methods, analogy and comparison, identifying similarities or differences in them, as well as similarities within differences or differences within the same, with a focus on seeking analogies and similarities.
陇跟柱主要分布在中国的广西、云南、海南、台湾。
The long is mainly distributed in Guangxi, Yunnan, Hainan, Taiwan, and China.
东南亚主要分布在越南、老挝、印尼、菲律宾。
And Vietnam, Laos, Indonesia, the Philippines, in
以
South
及在波利尼西亚和美拉尼亚都有。
else is Polynesia and Melania.
这是柱
This is Jew
，is long。
and this is long.
从比较的，首先来看它形制的规律。
It has a regularity of shape.
首先是从铸就来，是石头和木头做成。
Juju is mainly made of stone and wood,
第二个是船形的龙，
and the ship shape made of wood.
第三种就是圆柱形的，是木骨和这个裂痕等等。
The third is cylindrical.
它们的这个重要的是一个捣碎工具，
They are all meshing tools.
这是石柱。
This is Shiju.
石柱是什么时候发明的呢？在我们的这个遗址中间，可以推断到1万年前到9000年之间。
Shiju may be invented around 10,000 or 9,000 years ago.
这个是在南宁我们广西的豹子头遗址出土的柱。
This is the Jew discovered in Nanning.
海南的这个柱就形成了这个秤砣米。
This is Jew in Hainan.
类似的珠是广西天的。
The picture in the right is from Guangxi.
冷是广西天等的，现在是船形结构。
The Jew in Guangxi is a ship shape.
越南的孟族，
And the left one is from Vietnam.
越南的傣族。
The second is from Vietnam Thai.
我们也发现印尼的中爪哇和西爪哇也有类似的龙。
We also found long in Indonesia, Middle Java.
在我们云南的和台湾的主要是拉木，
And the Lamu drum from Yunnan and Taiwan.
所以我们说，在台湾它形成了祝乐，
There is Jew music in Taiwan.
形成了音高，它主要取决于木柱两端削成的平滑格的材料不同。
The wooden Jew is usually played in an ensemble of 6 to 10 pieces.
第二，组合规律来看，
The second is regularity of combinations.
广西中国的海兰是拢为主的，而印尼、越南
In Guangxi and Hainan is mainly long plus a Jew.
形成了祝乐和吹泥舞。
And it becomes the Jew dance with music.
在台湾地区形成了祝歌，
There are Jew songs in Taiwan.
所以有了歌舞乐的形式。
So it makes the song, dance, and music together.
第三，从振动原理与演奏方式的规律来看，
The third is the principle of vibration and the regularity of playing. Here is a video for you.
is the video the computer plays
The video can be played, but we can't see in the seat.
Facebook.
我们先讲现在，后是统一的，后开始。
Jadi pakat dulu. Paling kali 3 menit.
好，我们接下去先 首先是印尼的第二个是越南的，这个通过我们的 Jamas 的音乐分析软件系统，我们可以看到它的这个包络图。
The waveform has strong static energy and
通过我们的这个研究，印尼的这个包络图的这个声音可以看出它的起振比较强，衰减比较快。它整个是用木棒敲击的撞击声音，形成了两个风波。
we can see the waveform has strong static energy and decays faster, but the waveform has fewer bursts and the sound is purer.
并形成了前半拍的重拍和后半拍的哒的这种节奏声音。
The two waveform peaks in the graph are the first and the second high peaks.
第二个是越南的这个拢，它的从我们的波阵来分析后，看出了它的这个稍振的这个激波是更明显的，一般都有噪音。
The waveform has strong static energy and decays faster, but the waveform has more bursts.
它形成了一个平均拍，咚咚咚咚。
Fundamental wave energy not obvious, and there is a lot of noise afterward.
第三个就是我们广西的包络图，可以看出它的这个音频值是比较平均的。
The third graph is Guangxi Long. We can see that it's balanced.
第四个就是这个布隆族的台湾的，它的每件乐器按照顺序发音，构成了稳定的音序，形成了这个音序结构，形成了嗦咪来哆嗦咪。
The fourth is for Taiwan. We can see the sound structure. Each instrument sounds in sequence, constituting a stable order and forming an orchestral.
再从它的结构关系比较来看，印尼呢，它形成了同一节奏的这个序列关系的序谱型结构。
Here we can see the comparison of rhythmic structure relationship in Indonesia. According to
对，很多的是有这个受本当谱的这个影响。
According to the entire music rhythm, it constitutes a unit base as the basic unit of the signature group of combined rhythmic patterns.
越南呢，它是属于统一节奏的稳步，在音色上发生变化。
And else is Vietnam.
第三个是我们的这个中国的广西的这个天本受到我们诗句的影响，形成了七字句。
The third is Tiandong Guangxi China. It's mainly 7 words.
哒哒你哒哒哒哒你哒你哒哒这种结构。
It's structure pattern.
第四个就是台湾的祝愿，它形成了嗦咪来哆，主要4个声部为主要的旋律进行。
The fourth is Taiwan structure.
其他2个声部就是固定型的嗦嗦嗦嗦嗦嗦哆哆哆哆。
It has a stable structure.
再来看它的最后演奏方式，所以中国与这个东南亚的祝就形成了一个是节奏型的，一个是旋律型的。
The method of performance has 2. The first is rhythm and the second is melody.
在合奏中，每个祝以特定的形态节奏，用前后错落的方式循序，共同构成了一个集体副节奏或者旋律模式的形态。
Each Jew in the ensemble is sequenced in a special rhythm, using a back and forth approach, forming a collective, polyrhythmic or melodic pattern form.
在我们的中国的岭南带外以及我们的迎风律随中，还有广东新语中都有这个拢的记载。
In Song Dynasty, Long and Zhu have become a versatile agricultural musical instrument as well as an indispensable tool for life for farming families.
特别是在我们广东新语中，它清晰地表明拢是由最初的生产用具逐渐改变成了招众之用。
In Qing Dynasty, long was transformed from its original function as a production tool to a means of gathering people.
这是中国龙的在各个朝代的器具，最早可以在唐代、宋代、元代和清代的一个转变情况。
After the Ming and Qing dynasties, the records of its function in the historical books continue to decline.
所以，综上我们可以看到龙的一个结论：一是有共生层，是春岛稻谷文化的传统生活中由生活器具转变为乐器的过程。
We can see the social function, the transform of social function of long. The first is, it is a rice pounding culture, the process of transforming a household rice pounding instrument into a musical instrument.
第二阶段为流变层，是族群音乐文化在现代社会形态中各族群生活的真切音乐转变为文化艺术的舞台，体现了文化价值的程序性。
The second, long shows the ethnic music culture.
所以，我们看中国南方与东南亚地区的春岛稻作音乐有着相似的社会功能，有这6个点：第一是召集，第二是劳动音乐，第三祭祀，第四婚礼，第五娱乐，第六节气。
We can see the long in China and Southeast Asia has similar social cultural function. The first is standing gathering. The second is light music. The third is sacrifice. The fourth is wedding. The fifth, entertainment, and the sixth, festival.
所以我们看到，先有乐器，再有歌，再有舞。中国南方与东南亚依然存在着活态的春岛音乐文化。
There are still some live rice pounding music culture in China and Southeast Asia.
本研究试图以平行比较的方法，从显性的乐器形制规律、乐器组合、演奏规律、声音规律，到隐形的稻作文化传播与族群音乐文化价值取向性，证实了中国南方与东南亚地区存在春岛稻作音乐文化圈的共生文化。 并且形成了百越民族中纵台语族和南岛语族2个流动关系。这种代表性的稻作音乐文化，可为我们进一步证实中国南方和东南亚各音乐关系提供一些信息。
This study attempts to confirm the existence of a symbiotic circle of rice pounding music culture in southern China and Southeast Asia, and the formation of two mobile relationships between the Zhuang, Dong, and Austrian mission among the Baiyue ethnic groups by using parallel comparative and analogies, ranging from the explicit rules of musical instrument forms, instrument combinations, and acoustic regularity, to the implicit spread of the rice pounding culture and the cultural values of the music groups. This representative rice pounding music culture can provide some information for us to further theories and relationships between various types of music in southern China and Southeast Asia.
好，第二件我们主要的就是铜鼓演奏形态之同型之比较。
The next is a comparison of the forms of round drum performance in the past and present.
首先，铜鼓的第一个铜鼓鼓乐，
The first is bronze drum music.
它有立奏和坐奏两种形式。
It has a single bronze drum has solo form, including a walking standing style and a sitting style.
第二种是2面或者4面鼓点的齐奏。
The second is 2 or 4 drums in semaphore.
第三种是铜鼓与皮鼓的齐奏形式，
The third is bronze drums and leather drums ensemble,
主要有分明鼓。
including 2 types, without and with resonant drums.
鼓式有怀里式、巴蒂式等等。
The form has Huaili and body.
越南的铜鼓古代铜鼓，
And this is the Vietnam Asian bronze drum.
越南蒙族的铜鼓，
Vietnam bronze drum,
泰国古代的铜鼓，
Thailand Asian bronze drum,
泰国这个在九世王葬礼铜鼓的定点演奏，
this is the bronze drum in Thailand ceremony.
老挝古代的铜鼓，
Laos Asian bronze drum,
缅甸古代的铜鼓，
Myanmar Asian bronze drum,
印尼古代的铜鼓 ，Moko，
Indonesia Asian bronze drum, Moko,
还有主要是在传统仪式中的应用。
and Moko in traditional ceremony.
所以我们看到铜鼓的可以呈现出多样性和跨境性的特点。
We can see that ethnic groups using bronze drum are diverse and cross-border.
演奏的形式有固定式的平制、侧制、平旋和侧旋。
The performing ways of bronze drum has both, that is, flat fix, side fix, flat suspended, and side suspended.
是的，主要是在泰国的平旋仪式和这个侧旋移动。
In Thailand, it has moved side.
铜鼓是怎么来的呢？在我们的法器中和礼器中有记载出过的。
It is said that Tonggu is produced from the sacrifice and housing.
是悬挂为主。
It's mainly hanging or play.
另外，就还有舞蹈的形式，鼓手鼓跟皮鼓结合在一起。
It also has dance with bronze drum.
在我们的花山壁画上，2000多年的记载也有铜鼓乐。
This is the bronze drum music in the Huashan rock paintings.
所以中国的铜鼓有了8种形式。
It had 8 types in China's Chinese bronze drum.
我们博物馆也研发了一套平旋式的这个铜鼓。
This is the flat fix drums invented by Guangzhou Ethnic Museum.
好，最后我们讲一个博物馆的展示情况。
The last part is the Southeast Asian Music Exhibition Hall in Guangzhou Ethnic Museum under regional country perspective.
区域国别视域下，广西民族音乐博物馆的东南亚音乐展示路径。第一，关于区域国别视域下的东南亚。
First is Southeast Asian music in regional country.
东盟是在1917年8月8日在曼谷成立。
The Association of Southeast Asian Nations was established on August 8, 1967.
2019年总面积约440万平方公里，人口有6.6亿。
As of 2019, it has a total area of 4.49 million square kilometers and a population of 660 million.
成员国有马来西亚、印度尼西亚、泰国、菲律宾等。
The member countries are Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, the Philippines, Singapore, Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and Cambodia.
在所有的国别音域中，东南亚与中国海陆相连、和平相处数千年，人文密切关系，有着中国文明和印度文明音乐形态方面的古声音阶和新音阶并存。
Southeast Asia and China have been linked by sea and land, living in peace with each other for thousands of years, with close community ties.
形成了多声牧民的文化圈，
forming a cultural circle of polyphonic folk songs.
以及在越南、缅甸、泰国、老挝、马来西亚、印度尼西亚、菲律宾形成了东最具有代表性的固定音罗群乐器文化圈和竹制文化圈。
and forming a gongs and bamboo cultural circle.
所以在我们的万隆这里可以看到竹制跟山峦都是这两个最重要的文化圈的代表。
So we can see that bamboo and gama is the most important part of music culture in the bamboo.
广西民族音乐博物馆设立在东南亚的音乐文化厅的初衷是突出区域优势。
The initial intent of Guangxi Ethnic Music Museum is set up an exhibition area of Southeast Asian music culture that is highlighting the regional advantages.
2013年，国务院中国东盟贸易博览会落户广西南宁，南宁成为了这一博览会的永久举办地。
Nanning became the permanent host of the China Asian Expo in 2003.
第二，力图国策，以文化走亲，深入开展“一带一路”沿线国家的音乐文化交流。
Secondly, based on national policy,
我们中国东盟南宁有一个戏曲周，
we had China Asian Opera Festival.
今年是12月5日至10号在广西南宁举行。
It is held in December 5th to 10th in Guangxi, Nanning.
东盟舞蹈音乐教育论坛、东盟中国音乐周等等。
What else is the China Asian Dance Education Forum and China Asian Music Festival?
所以，我们广西艺术学院的专家团队在致力打好民族跟东盟两大特色品牌的联想，以资政报告的形式获批了广西政府建设广西民族音乐博物馆的项目。 2018年10月开馆，建立在广西艺术学院内2600平米，目前是我国艺术院校单体面积最大的专题性音乐博物馆。
As a result, the expertise of Guangxi Art University, under the concept of focusing on ethnic and Asian, two special brands, was approved by Guangxi government to establish a project to build the Guangxi Ethnic Music Museum, which was opened in October 2018. It has 2,600 square meters, which is the largest music museum in China's arts college and universities in terms of single area.
第三，广西民族音乐博物馆功能与音乐展陈列是：第一，聚焦藏品，以音乐的物质文化乐器为藏品对象。从2010年开始组织专家团队，经过8年的时间，实地调研了东盟10国，大量的收集研究各国代表性的传统乐器。现在有600余件居中国之手。
The next is the path of displaying Southeast Asian music in Guangxi Ethnic Music Museum.
第二，关照共生，中国南方少数民族与东北亚传统乐器形成了道路文化圈为主体的文化，所以我们有红红、竹同琴、天琴、流神琴等实践共生交流的乐器。
Ethnic minority musical instruments from Southern China and traditional instruments from South Asia form a culture dominated by the Rite cultural circle. There are more than 20 symbiotic and interwoven musical instruments such as the bronze drum, bamboo speaker, tianqi, and duxianqi.
这是我们博物馆展陈的一些情况。
This is the situation in Guangxi Music Museum.
第三，以区域族群叙述开展对话。
The first level framework of the exhibition is to arrange the overall structure of the exhibition with structural
具
division.
体做法是将同一个地区的族群乐器放置同地点，会中展示的事件存在因果关系。10个东南亚国家的传统音乐展示之间形成了对话交流的关系。开放的叙事空间，请观众做出不同价值的判断。
By placing musical instruments from the same region or ethnic group in the same display case, the events of the exhibition are casually linked.
展陈特色，数字化展陈，结语。在历史资料和实践过程中比较的真谛能够帮助我们，也希望能够感知。
Conclusion is, in the course of historical information and practice, the true meaning of comparison is that it can help us to discover the distinctive feature of our own arts in relation to other arts. This all, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for great presentation. with range of art and literature, specifically one performing art and so music instruments similarities between Southeast Asia and China. Well, the next speaker, the honorable one in opposition, Mr. Professor Dr. Al please on stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks, Mr. Nur Rahman. Hello, everybody. Are you here? I am very glad to everyone in this seminar, and also during seminar. Thank you. Okay, my presentation maybe has a different Prof. Tao and Prof. Su Hao. I will stand in here about maybe I read to presentation. My presentation, creative transformation in culture and art in Indonesia, the concept of mandala hokoide. What is mandala hokoide? Okay. Next. Indonesian have a geopolitical and geocultural. Geopolitics is the political area of a country restricted by geographical boundaries and the regulation accepted by all countries in the world. And geopolitics is the United States of the Republic of Indonesia, or NKRI, harga mati, between Southeast Asia and Australia. And geocultural is a cultural area in a country without geographical boundary, along with a local diversity, identity established by its supporting society. And geocultural is the cultural diversity of the archipelago, Nusantara, and the ethnic and sub-ethnic, as well as micro-ethnic society supporting it. Cultural as a melting pot. Melting pot is a place of cultural meeting brought by a nation coming and going to the Nusantara the past. In fact, coloring the melting pot process of various nations coming to the Nusantara. One is a bed of spices atau rempah, jalur rempah. Bed of Cengho, jalur Cengho. And then bed is a religious diffusion, penyebaran agama. Next. Cultural and art diversity. The cultural advancement law and 5 of the 1917 is the Indonesian form frame with the 10 cultural advancement object OPK, objek pemajuan kebudayaan. The 10th OPK as proof of Indonesian cultural diversity. And the cultural diversity is a potential cultural capital for Indonesia to present to the world. Art is a comparative term for the variety and art found in Indonesian culture. Next. Creative transformation in culture and art Indonesia. And the human in the past as a culture supporting, conducting, adoption, creation to produce a variety of the art with the typical local identity. And human in the current time as a cultural supporter and dynamicator conducting creative interpretation and transformation of their various culture and art, culture legacy, as well as toward arriving various culture and art, popular culture. And human in the current time also adapt to technological development, playing a role, producing creative transformation and innovation, processing, rising of the digital art and collaboration. Next. How to apply the Mandala Hokkaido? Mandala Hokkaido is the holistic, is the first approach to knowing, understanding, and experiencing Indonesian culture and art, creative and completely by the remapping and reframing to get a complete picture of Indonesian culture and art. And concentric is the second approach to understanding Indonesian culture and art, creative and center using understanding to get a specific picture and certain Indonesian culture and art. And ideographic is the third approach which unique individual researcher or creators make a deep thing in the science of culture and the art, as well as creativity by producing concept of thinking and concept of creativity. And then eclectic is fourth approach to the experiencing Indonesian culture and art, creative, and selectively based on free will to will more specific and unique picture and setting result regarding Indonesian culture and art, which of the different and interesting. Okay, this is the Mandala Hokkaido. May I offer your attention. One, culture and art. Maybe you have now you approach to holistic, concentric, ideographic, eclectic, and the stands, namely the Mandala Hokkaido. Next. For example, you know Harry Dono? Are you know Harry Dono? Harry Dono is the one painter too famous in Indonesia. Harry Dono is a creative, and he conclusive. My conclusive, for example, this is a Harry Dono painter. Okay, and next, second example, you know Sardono Wekusumo? Okay, Sardono Wekusumo is the choreographer in the world from Indonesia. Is the very famous. I know about Sardono. This is namely a work art is a meta ecology. Okay. And third example, You know Garin Nugroho? Garin Nugroho, one of the film director from Indonesia, is famous to be famous in the world. Garin make some film. This is named Setan Jawa. Setan Jawa. I hope you watching Setan Jawa. It's very interesting and very locality and diversity, but is a potential Java potential culture. Okay. Thank you. My presentation is very short. Maybe you have one or some question in the English language or Indonesian language. I hope you respond my presentation. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Arthur Estana from ISB Bandung. What a great presentation. Yeah, we have already heard from three speakers today. First, from Professor Tao Yimei. He focuses on some paintings, yeah, some Chinese paintings. That he focused that the relationship between man and nature, relationship between humans, and also he focused on the traditional and modern painting, the dynamic of painting in China from oldest to today's. Then from Professor Shuzo, focused on the process of transformations, and she in detail explained about the similarities of music instruments from Southeast Asia and China. She has already explained the similarity about bronze drum. Yeah, we have already seen from the pictures. And then the most important thing is the similarity between Chinese and Southeast Asian countries. It's all about rights. It's all about rights. Yeah, about sacrifice. Yeah, sacrifice. That's all. And then she also focused that between China and Southeast Asia is linked by the sea land, and we have lived in peace for a long time, thousand years. Yeah, so it is better for us to keep this peace. And the last but not least, from Professor Arthur S. Nalan, he focused on the difference between geopolitics and geocultural, that Indonesia is very a good country and has a benefit with the diversity and unity of the culture in Indonesia, and it will be a benefit for us to be well known in the world. That's it. And then Mr. Arthur also explained some approaches to transform art and culture, and he in detail explained about the concept of mandala hokoide. Yeah, that's all. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to question and answer discussion session for about maybe around 30 minutes. For the first session, maybe I will divide into two sessions. For the first one, maybe for three participants to ask some questions. You may point the question to Professor Zhou, to Professor Tao, or to Professor Arthur, and you may explain, you may ask in Bahasa Indonesia, in English, or in Chinese. Yeah, we are pleased here that today we have one of the alumni from ISB, that is Mr. Randy. Yeah, Randy graduated from ISB, and he now works in Guangxi University. So he can translate into Chinese if you have trouble in explaining your questions. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please raise your hand, 3 participants for the first session. Okay, these 3 hands, committee, can you please distribute the microphone, or maybe you can come here from here. Yes, please come here and stand up. Please distribute the 1 microphone, committee. Just mention your name, institution, and yeah, your question.
Good day, everybody in this room. Honorable Prof. Arthur Esnalan, Prof. Tao Wime, and Prof. Tushu. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Angga from Postgraduate Indonesian Institute of Art and Culture Bandung. I have any question to Prof. Cucu. So in Indonesian, we ask the two valid along, but we name is a lesung or lisung, a tool for some ritual, and also being a music instrument. Based on your presentation, there is a linking culture, Guangxi and Indonesian, especially West Java. The question is that because rice that report from China to Nusantara, 12th century, or maybe other factor? Thanks. Atur nuhun.
Maybe, yeah, thank you, Angga. His question that we here in Indonesia has a music instrument or tool or in society names lisung or lesung. Maybe there is some similarity with some music instrument from China. So, so what caused the similarity of the music instrument between China and Indonesia? Is it because of the rise of the what is it, the coming in Chinese to Indonesia in the 12th centuries? That's it. Maybe we can directly, I mean, Professor Zhou can directly answer question. Or maybe while waiting for the answer, we'll go on to the next question. Yeah. Miss Parendi mungkin bisa di sini bisa bantu ya. Maybe you can help. Okay. You can take a seat. Yeah.
这是一个非常有趣的问题，谢谢。
So, itu yang bilang.
这是一个非常有趣的问题，也是我一直在思考的问题，非常感谢。
Ya, terima kasih banyak. Ini pertanyaan yang sangat luar biasa dari Kang Angga ya, barusan.
我们也是在收集广西的龙的时候，就慢慢的发现，在东南亚其他地区有。
When Guangxi is searching for long, we see that there is some similarity in Southeast Asia.
您的2个问题，首先回答第一个问题。
I will answer the first question.
龙就是不同的龙，各国之间有什么区别？
What's the differences between different long?
第一个形制上有区别。
First is the shape.
第二个节奏的声音形态上有区别。
And the sound form.
第三个就是在它的这个这个它的观念上还是有一定的区别。
The concept.
OK， 但是同大于异。
But the similarity is more than the differences.
所以我们用的叫平行比较法。
So we use a method called parallel research.
同在于什么地方？都是在稻作文化圈之内。
The similarity is the rice planting culture,
因为它是从农作物转变为乐器的形式。
because its regional function is agriculture too.
第二个问题，
The second question,
垄从什么时间来？
when loan was invented?
我们在中国的记载上是从唐代。
The loan in China is from the Tang Dynasty.
我们也很希望在印尼能够有记载告诉我们。
I hope that I could answer the question.
所以这一次我们出来跟交流的目的也是。
And that is the goal that we exchange from China between Indonesia.
希望发现更多有趣、更多同源的交流。
I hope that we can cooperation more.
谢谢。Angga? So I think that's the answer, Angga ya. Okay, next behind Angga.
Moderator sebentar, takutnya audiens ada yang bingung. Jadi untuk apa? Kalau di bahasa kita tuh lesung, gitu. Tapi untuk di Tiongkok itu namanya long. Itu long gitu. Jadi bukan naga itu. Tapi kalau di kita kan lisung atau gepiok atau apa gitu ya. Tapi kalau di sana long gitu. Jadi takutnya nanti ada yang bingung tadi ngebahas long itu apa. Jadi artinya alatnya sama gitu. Bentuknya sama, cuman penamaannya saja yang beda. Talong. Jadi kalau di Tiongkok itu di Guangxi nama lesung itu namanya talong. Ya mungkin hampir similar dengan hampir sama dengan lesung, betul Pak.
Thank you.
Ya, thank you Mr. Randi. That's Angga ya. Itu lebih clear buat Angga. Yes. Behind Angga atau itu kayak boleh?
Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang terhormat Bu Retno sebagai Rektor ISB Bandung, kemudian yang terhormat Profesor Arthur, kemudian Profesor Suzu, kemudian Profesor Tahu Yime yang saya hormati. Perkenalkan, nama saya Ajis Arif Bawono. Saya mahasiswa pasca sarjana ISB Bandung angkatan 2023 dan saya ada beberapa pertanyaan, ada 2 pertanyaan seputar musik tadi untuk Profesor Suzu. Pertanyaannya terkait masalah musik dan tadi setelah saya dengarkan presentasinya begitu menakjubkan juga dan menarik karena saya juga sedang mempelajari sebetulnya terkait masalah teori identitas budaya yang dikemukakan oleh Stuart Hall yang tentunya di situ membahas bahwa sebuah identitas itu tidak luput ternyata dari keberagaman budaya lainnya. Jadi dari satu budaya itu bersinambung dengan ada campur tangan dari budaya lain juga. Nah, pertanyaan saya adalah apakah menurut Profesor Suzu, apakah hal tersebut benar bahwa sebetulnya sebuah kebudayaan itu ternyata ada pengaruhnya dari budaya-budaya lain di luar dari budaya tersebut? Kemudian yang pertanyaan kedua adalah apakah boleh sebuah negara itu mengklaim suatu karya seni atau budaya sementara budaya itu atau benda itu memiliki kesamaan dengan yang ada di negara lain. Apa hukumnya kalau dalam sebuah kebudayaan? Terima kasih. Mungkin itu pertanyaan dari saya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Mr. Aziz, postgraduate student in ISB. The questions pointed to Ms. Suzu that about identity of a culture of one country. Yeah, is it there is a kind of what is it effect of one culture to the other countries. And then the second question is, may a country claim or maybe Mr. Randy, you can help to translate to Chinese. The question is, apakah identitas sebuah budaya itu ada pengaruh dari budaya luar tersebut, dari budaya luar?
So much，首先非常感谢对我的提问。
Thanks for your question.
这是一个比较深奥的问题，
It's a thought-provoking question.
因为这关系到乐器的这个传播中间的在地化问题。在地就是在当下的变化，在不同国家的变化。
It relates to the change when musical instruments in a certain country.
首先是它的传播路线，具体能说是能够有哪一个国家是它的源头，这个需要通过考古、通过书的古典记载等等之类多方面的来佐证它。
It's hard to say where an instrument be invented or its regional place in this agricultural research.
所以我们现在就要有一个叫音乐考古学，可以佐证我们乐器的一些源头。
Now it's a subject called musical architecture.
具体来说，拢跟这个是从哪一个国家具体传播的，这个我们还有待在考察中。
We are researching where long be invented.
但是有一个线索是什么呢？就是铜鼓已经可以确定从中国在湄公河流域传到了这个东南亚各国。
It's certain that bronze drum is invented from is disseminates from Mekong River to Southeast Asia.
maybe 我们的这个拢跟这个铜鼓也有一定的关联性。
Maybe the long is similar to bronze drum.
具体说传到一个乐器肯定会发生变化。传到一个国家。
The musical instrument went to another country. It must make change.
那么我们就可以看到各种音乐的通过它的节奏和它的这种观念是很有自己的这个特色。
Every musical instrument has its unique rhythm and concept.
但是在交流和融化中，它形成了自己的一个个性。
And the similarity caused by the cultural communications.
虽然形制相同，
maybe the shape is similar.
但是会在它的音乐显性中产生不同的音响。
But the musical form is different.
谢谢我们有待继续再去研究，谢谢。
I'm doing research better.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. So I just can you take it? Okay, clear, yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Then maybe the one last questions for this session. Yes, please.
Hello, my name is Rizal. Rizal. Yeah, I want to ask a question for Suzu, right? Regarding the raw materials for musical instruments previously mentioned, namely stone and wood, are there any difference in the types of wood and stone used by the nation previously described? Yeah, uh, regar- regarding the raw materials for musical instrument previously mentioned, stone and wood, are there any difference in the types of wood and stone used by the nation previously described? Yeah. Thank you.
Question is, are there any difference between stone and wood, or is it an instrument in by the nation? Is there any difference in any countries in Southeast Asia or China? Any different between stone and wood instruments? Nation, in Asia.
OK，这个问题非常感谢对我今天的这个发言有兴趣啊。
Thanks for your question, and Professor Chu Zhuo is very happy that you are interested in the
非常高
this
兴。
instrument. Yeah.
首先石柱是肯定早于木质的。
First of all, the stone instruments must earlier than the wood instrument.
在我们南陵的遗址中间，石柱有1万年的历史。
Okay, in Nanning, the stone instrument maybe have 100. No.
1万年前。
Okay, wait a moment.
“先放广西的，先放印尼的也可以。Thank you。好，打开。
yang luar biasa. Apakah kertas bisa digunakan dengan apapun? Jawabannya adalah sangat bisa. Ya, itu aku. Kertas itu hidup. Kertas itu bisa disintruk. Kertas itu bisa diremes. Kertas itu bisa ditepuk. Kertas itu bisa digesek. Dan kertas itu bisa disobek. Kenapa dinamakan kertas itu hidup? Ya, kertas itu hidup karena ada yang menggerakkannya. Dan siapa yang menggerakkannya? Dan yang menggerakkannya adalah seseorang yang sangat hebat, yaitu saya sendiri yang menggerakkannya. Dan itulah yang dinamakan kenapa kertas itu hidup. Dari kertas kita bisa belajar berkarya dan bisa mendapatkan ilmu dari kertas itu. Itulah kehebatan yang tidak pernah tahu dari sebuah kertas.
Thank you for Hendra, Iin, and music by Fahdi Hasan from postgraduate students of ISB Bandung. Okay, because the time today is for lunch and duhur prayer, so the next agenda will be continued after the break session. Attendees and also invited guests are welcome to leave the room and be back again at 12:30. Thank you.
Ngajar di